Well, if they're going to pick a European system for the future of the TV licence, let's pick the Polish one, shall we? Hi, it's me again, and I keep seeing stories about the Lords Committee that are looking into the future of the TV licence fee and saying they're going to adopt, or they want to adopt, some kind of European tax model for the TV licence fee. Well, there's quite a few different European ways of dealing with it. France, I believe they chuck it on your council tax and it's quite hard to evade. You know, the Swiss voted for it. Mind you, the Swiss aren't technically in the European Union either, but they voted to keep the licence fee and to increase the funding for it. Spain doesn't have a television licence fee, and Poland is an opt-in system. And because it's an opt-in, like in the UK we have an opt-out system. You must pay it unless you opt out. In Poland, you opt in to pay it. And guess what? Nobody bloody does, really. And the licence fee enforcement officer, I believe in Poland, is your local post person, who knows the community anyway and probably couldn't give a toss. So if you must go European, go that way. But no one knows what's going to happen yet. The amount of emails and questions and everything I'm getting saying it's going to go on your council tax, it's been announced. It hasn't been announced. It's going to be a blooming long time. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this chat goes on for ages, because with the new government coming in and new people taking the top jobs, this is going to get pushed back and pushed back and pushed back all the way until 2027, when the BBC will get a nice cheeky little extension of 5 or 10 years or something for the current model to help with the negotiations going forward. That's what I think is going to happen. And if that happens, that's not the worst thing, because you can at the moment still opt out. If it goes on your council tax, it's going to be hard, isn't it? A European funding model could be adopted to replace the BBC licence fee under proposals from the House of Lords that would see all households forced to pay for the national broadcaster. In its final 75-page report titled Licence to Change, BBC's Funding Future, the unelected parliamentarians suggested copying European countries that have imposed a universal household levy. Highlighting the model had been a success in Germany and Switzerland, they said the change would provide the broadcaster with predictable and sustainable levels of income. So yeah, in Germany it's currently €18.36 a month per household, or €220 a year, which is probably a bit more than we pay at the moment in the UK, isn't it? The exchange rate changes on a daily basis at the minute. And in Switzerland it's 335 Czech francs a year for radio single households and 670 francs for multiple households, i.e. old people's homes. And as I said earlier on, right, in 2018 there was an initiative on whether TV licences should be scrapped. Voters had overwhelmingly rejected the proposal by 71.6%. Crazy Swiss people. 71.6% of Swiss people voted to keep their TV licence fee. I don't know what public service television is like in Switzerland, but it must be bloody good for that, right? Collection could be more efficient, driving down administration costs, as there would be no need to determine which households have a TV set. Collection costs for the licence fee were $136 million in 20 to 21. See, everywhere you go in all these stories, there's always wrong information. It doesn't matter if you have a television set. The licence fee isn't based on what equipment you have. It's based on what you use that equipment to do. If you watch broadcast TV or use BBC iPlayer, you must have a television licence. But you can own all the tellies you want and not require a television licence. It's no big deal. I don't get why they can't get these things right in the paper. And it says here collections costs for the licence fee were 136 million quid. That's all those letters, and that's sending all those goons to people's houses. It's unnecessary. They could save all that money. Just publish everything correctly, let people have a choice, let them know what it does pay for, and stop chasing them. You can send them the odd letter once a year asking if they require a licence now or not. You could cut that back without changing the way the licence fee model works. 136 million a year to pester people is criminal. Criminal. And all that money's going to Capita, don't forget. Capita, everyone's favourite company. It's suggested that alternatively the levy could be linked to council tax in order to differentiate on the basis of household wealth. In the 73-page document, the committee said that many of the advantages of the existing licence fee are under threat. Now, I have this document, and I tried to read it the other night and I fell asleep, because it's the House of Lords and they're normally asleep in there and all, aren't they? So you can understand where I was coming from. I haven't managed to read it all yet. I will read it all. But it's going to be absolute nonsense. There's talk about it going on your council tax. There's talk about it being a media tax that goes on your payslip. And I think they would prefer that because then it's being paid per person, not per household, and more cash is generated. But the way we have it at the moment is better than these systems they're trying to bring in. I can't see them getting away with bringing it in on your council tax. I really can't see it happening. Like I said, this is all just talk, and the House of Lords have no power at all. They're unelected. They sit there doing jack all day and falling asleep. This is just giving them something to talk about briefly. But they're so out of touch, these people, so out of touch. They don't know what is happening with the kids and how they're consuming content anymore. You know, I genuinely believe that this is just going to keep getting talked about, keep getting talked about, keep getting talked about. And with the government changing and new people coming into posts in the government, it's going to get knocked back and knocked back and knocked back. And the TV licence fee currently will get an extension in 2027 for 5 or 10 years. That's what I think is going to happen. If you want to read the world's most boring report from the House of Lords, I'll try and remember to put a link down in the description below. You can feel free to have a read of it. But what do you think? It's all just talk, isn't it? And people seem to believe now that it's going on your council tax. It's not. Nothing has been decided. You know, I genuinely believe that it's going to get knocked back and they'll get an extension on the current one in 2027. I really do. There's too much upheaval in the government and everything to get anything done, isn't there? But let me know what you think about it all down in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And that way, hopefully, I'll get to see you in another video again soon, won't I? Ta-da!